Luke Cage is one bad mother. Shut your mouth. I'm just talking about Luke Cage, baby. Welcome back to Comic Universe, the only nerd-centric thing you need in your life. DPZ riding solo on a comic review. And yeah, this isn't like typical panel-to-panel because it's not two guys talking about a comic. It's one guy talking about a comic. And today I'm going to be talking about Cage! Exclamation point. By Genndy Tartakovsy. Most of you guys would know that name best for, creating such cartoons as a little thing called Samurai Jack and Dexter's Lab. And, a few other things like Symbiotic Titan. He's had his name in the animation career. So, this comic is written and drawn by him as a 4-issue miniseries. Yeah. So, I figured, let's talk about it. So, Cage is a comic that is set in 1977 Harlem, New York, at first, and it focuses on Luke Cage searching for Misty Knight and a few other missing heroes. And his search leads him to an island led by a guy named Professor Seuss. I know what they were trying to do and say that he, it's supposed to be like a parody of Dr. Seuss because he rhymes, but the way they spell his name, as well as, the way they spell his name, it's Seuss, like Gravity Falls Seuss. It is spelled exactly like Gravity Falls Seuss. So, I had to fight in my brain not to make it sound like it was Seuss from, Seuss from Gravity Falls saying the dialogue for Professor Seuss. But I failed miserably, and now if ever you read this comic, you will too. So the comic is just a total fun comic. It is a fun little romp. It's nothing deep. It's nothing like, oh, this comic changed my life. This comic is not Daredevil Born Again. This is just a fun little romp, that Genndy clearly has a lot of love for 70s stuff. And honestly, if you love stuff like Black Dynamite or, Shaft or something like that, you're in luck, because this totally harkens to stuff like Enter the Dragon, Shaft, Superfly, all of that. I can even imagine Michael Jai White as Black Dynamite, doing his Black Dynamite voice for this version of Luke Cage. It's hysterical. It's a very, the artwork by Genndy Tartakovsy, this feels very animated, and I don't mean it just because he does animation. Everything feels fluid. Everything just feels like fun, wild, crazy, kooky animation. This definitely feels like something like I have this weird feeling that he wanted to make this like an animated film, but no one would let him. I don't know why Genndy continues to get shit on, but that's the way it goes apparently. Anyway, so Cage this 4-issue miniseries is good, but it's nothing too deep, and it's a really quick read. I actually got it for $5 at a convention I was at, along with a few other comics, but I definitely wanted to read this mostly because I'm such a fan of Genndy Tartakovsky's work, as well as, I do dig Luke Cage as a character. So I was really curious to see what kind of crazy shit he could get Luke into. What kind of crazy shit Luke could get into via Gennedy's vision. Now, what's also interesting to note with this comic is that there is a lot of artwork. The artwork in here is very fluid, and it's very fast. Like, the second issue, it gets really trippy, and it's total splash page after splash page. So, yeah, this is a really quick read. If I hadn't stopped myself, I probably could have finished this in under 30 minutes flat. The other thing is that they don't really go too deep into the whole missing heroes. The only characters they only really focus on are Iron Fist, Misty Knight, Black Panther, Brother Voodoo, and Dazzler and Ghost Rider. And even then, they're just little cameos. They don't go too deep into the whole missing heroes thing. It's just Luke Cage punching animal people with a guy who's named after a heavy-set who is named after one character, but because of one really popular animated show, I couldn't think of the other character. That made no sense, but this comic makes no sense, but it makes no sense in the most adorable way. Like, it's fun, no sense. Like, it makes fun it's no sense, but has fun with it. Man, I totally butchered that sentence. I apologize. It does get a little kooky. It does get a little. It does make me go, all right. Like, there's one moment where Ghost Rider gets defeated in one punch by an animal person. That's a thing that happens in here. Even Iron Fist gets taken. Like, all of the characters are kind of. If your name isn't Luke Cage or Misty Knight, you're a chump in this comic. You are essentially a chump in this comic that is just here to be like, oh, hey, look at, Gennedy's drawing of this character and that character. Yeah. But it's not bad. It's just, it's just a fun little story. There's fun little dialogue. It feels like a classic comic, but it feels like it almost like, it feels, and I'm sorry I'm tripping over my words, it feels like a classic 70s comic, just turned up to 11. Just the insanity turned up to 11, and Luke Cage is along for the ride. So, yeah. If this is I don't know if I would say if only if you're like a diehard Luke Cage fan or a diehard Genndy Tartakovsy fan, I would say get this. But if you really want to read this isn't worth, I wouldn't say this is worth full price. This is definitely find something in a discount bin. I saw it really cheap at Books A Million before I got it at a convention later on. So this is more of a discount comic. But not to say it's bad, it's just that I feel like if you find the trade, you do get the first issue of Luke Cage Hero for Hire, but at the same time, even then, this is a really quick read. It's a quick, fun read, but not worth over $20, if you know what I'm saying. If that makes any sense. So all in all, like I said, if you're a fan of 70s goofy Luke Cage stuff, if you enjoy stuff like Black Dynamite and Enter the Dragon, Shaft, all of that, or if you're looking for fun stuff after watching the Netflix Luke Cage show, I would say, give us a look. It's definitely worth checking out in some degree. So there you go, guys. There's my review for the comic. You guys comment below what you got. If you've read it, tell me what you think. And once again, see you once more in the universe.